I were to say the word refugee to you, what's the first thing that springs to mind?
Too many asylum seekers, unfortunately.
Someone fleeing violence or terror, I guess.
Yeah, persecution in their own country.
I'll guess that there's one too many.
Once you start talking about numbers, it becomes about numbers rather than about their application for asylum. You know, they're fleeing persecution in their country and they've come here for a safe haven.
I'm from the Democratic Republic of Congo, previous Belgian colony, and it used to be called Zaire. I left my country in year 2001. And that's when I came to the United Kingdom. What happened is I was studying far from the capital in Lubumbashi. The problem started in 1996, and then I had to move back to Kinshasa to join my family. And because of the political situation and the human rights situation, I decided to get involved in human rights activities. I joined NGO called La Voix sans bouche. That means voice without a mouth. It means a lot of people are there with a voice, but they can't express.
I come from Istanbul, but my family is of Turkey. I came here 3rd of March 2002. It was political, and my brother was studying at university in medical school, and he was arrested. He was in prison more than 7 years, nearly 8 years. One night, government operated on political prisoners, and they used chemical gas, they used gun. More than 200 people died, and after they went on hunger strike, and his health was very, very bad, and because of that they took him to hospital. I look after my brother, and after I was taken to court, so I came here as a student. 2 months later, my court case finished and closed, and I was punished 3 years and 9 months with prison. They don't need any evidence because I carry same surname with my brother, and it is enough for them.
I'm from Iran. To save my life, I had to escape from Iran, and without any good vision of where I'm landing next, then I appear in Heathrow and I submit an asylum application. The situation was bloody hell. You know, so frustration. I never imagined that such a thing is gonna happen for me, but it happened, and you know, I challenged, and I think I cope with it. People thinking if you are a graduate person, then it's crazy to become a refugee. They're expecting that somebody else become a refugee, not you. Everybody's thinking that people are escaping from their country. The only reason is prosperity and getting better money or get better life. Actually, for a lot of people, it's a matter of saving their own and their family's life.
It's very difficult to know the truth, isn't it?
Just coming here because it's a simple welfare state.
But they only come here because they know they're going to get a benefit.
It's not an easy life to get just in benefit, because benefit is something that the government giving you to live in very, very minimum of the condition of the life.
They've put a family of refugees in a lovely exclusive housing estate, and the state's paying for it.
When I was in Turkey, my life standard was higher than here.
There's a lot of us without jobs. They're coming in, taking the jobs from us.
There's also a confusion in the public's mind between migrant workers and refugees and asylum seekers. You know, it's all sort of put together in the same pot and mixed up.
Again, using the mail only this morning. A lot of it is simply because it's in your face the whole time.
Because there was that article in the paper the other day.
The Sun newspaper is actually a terribly intelligent newspaper because it's very clever at finding its audiences and manipulating them.
It's a media distortion. It's laughable, really. I mean, if it didn't impact so much on the public consciousness, it would be laughable. But it's very dangerous.
It is lack of resources. It's, you know what I mean, you can't expect X amount, thousands of extra people to come into a small part of London and not to affect education, not to affect the hospitals.
Genuinely, I don't think it has a great deal of impact on the economy.
Yes, there's refugees coming in with a lot of skills, a lot of which we need.
I graduated 1994 from Turkey in survey engineering. Here it's called geometric engineering, and I worked 8 years. 3 years I have been looking for a job. Now I feel like I'm forgetting many things. I have to keep up with them, with computer programming, with theodolite programming, because all those machines, all those programs are changing.
I've done 3 years of medicine. You are in a country where you think about what you've left behind you, you think about your studies. I had a lot of ambitions about medicine. All my dream was about being a doctor, and I've left all that behind me. Now I'm working as a health worker within the refugee health team, the Lambeth Primary Care Trust.
I've got a degree in civil engineering. The last position that I hold was the supervisor civil engineer, and that was a tram project in one of the biggest cities in Iran. Every time that I'm searching in job centers, computers, seeing a lot of new vacancies is coming up, and I apply for every individual and every single advertisement, and I hadn't yet got that chance to be interviewed even. If you can't work, the life is going to become very difficult as it is now because I'm unemployed. Keep traveling around the city, filling application form, job vacancies every day in every newspaper.
I think if people are bringing in skills that we need, I don't know, whether it be work skills or academic skills or whatever, then we should be using them, really. So there's got to be a benefit.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than having someone who's, qualified as a doctor, say, sitting around for 2 years on benefits, but they can't work when we need doctors. It's pointless.
It's not made very easy for people to integrate, I don't think.
Percentage-wise, there's a large percentage of refugees do have high-level qualifications. Recent studies have shown that there's between 30%, 50% have fairly high-level qualifications and substantial work experience as well. We live in a multicultural society, whether we like it or not, and I think the workforce should reflect the society that we live in. There are also areas that are crying out for expertise. I mean, it's been said very often about recruiting doctors and nurses from other countries and then having to train them at huge cost to the NHS. I'm not sure what the figures are in terms of training doctors, but I know that it's a lot cheaper to take a qualified refugee doctor and put them through an orientation process. So yes, I think there is a pool of skilled and talented people here that we need to draw upon, but that can only change if we change the attitudes I was talking about. The political attitude needs to change, and the media attitude needs to change, and therefore, hopefully, with those two things changing, the public attitude will change, and refugee or asylum seeker will no longer be a term of abuse, but will be seen as another member of society.
we've actually just moved back to the UK, having been living in New York for the past 4 years. And one of the things we liked when we moved to New York was the cultural diversity. We found that very inspiring and invigorating. And actually moving back to the UK after 4 years, it was interesting to see how the cultural mix had increased here. And I see that as a very positive thing. I mean, I think it creates a lot more. People are more open-minded when there is a cultural and ethnic mix around.
I think it's excellent. I've lived in Finsbury Park quite a long time in my life, and I've seen so many different communities come and go, Caribbean, Irish, and now we've got Algerian. I find it all quite interesting, really. I just like to sort of intermingle with it all and get a little taste of something else. It's only a little global village.
You just need to look back at the last 100 years and see how it's enriched our society. I think I'd rather live in a society like this than live in a society which was totally monolingual and monocultural, which can lead to a sort of narrow-minded nationalism, which I don't want to be part of.